Hello, teens, and all our viewers. I hope you're well and blessed this afternoon. Welcome to today's session. My name is Regina, and I thank God for the opportunity to be here. Kama kawaida, we are starting with our talent session, and today we are featuring two amazing, lovely girls who are going to bless us with their talent. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Princess Genesis.
Hi, I'm Cfel. Lord bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face toward you and give you peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you. Be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face toward you and give you peace. Amen. 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 Bwana kubariki na kulinde, akuangazie uso wake na kukufadhili, akuinulie uso wake na kupa amani. Amina, 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 Amina. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, in your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, in your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May His presence go before you, and behind you, and beside you, all around you, and within you. He is with you, He is with you in the morning, in the evening, in your coming and your going, in your weeping and rejoicing. He is for you, 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 He is for you. Amen. 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 The Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Amen. 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 Amen.
Thank you. Wow, what an amazing session. Thank you very much, Princess and Sidel, for the beautiful singing. I hope you've all been blessed. May God increase you. May God bless you. It is a challenge to all teens out there. Whatever gift that the Lord has given you, make sure you use it for God's glory. Thank you very much once again. We will move on now to our next session where we are going to have an interactive session. And I'm glad to say that I have amazing people in the house. Today is a special day because we are having a mix. We are having a boy in the house and we have our ladies in the house. And it's gonna be amazing to just hear what each side has to say about what we are going to discuss today. And so I will let them introduce themselves and then we'll move on from there, starting from Kamau.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, my name is Kamau, also known as MC Kamau. Yeah, I'm from Harvest.
Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Becky. I'm in Form 4 and I'm from Harvest.
Praise God. My name is Joanna, and I come from. I fellowship at Harvest Teens, and I bless the Lord for this far and for bringing us here. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kamau, Becky, and Joan. Thank you for joining us for this session. I hope you're going to have a wonderful time together. So our topic for today is about standing out in your generation. And we are going to look at the Bible character by the name Daniel. And so we are going to learn a few things that helped Daniel stand out. And just to introduce, our topic for today is that Daniel is a character who was kidnapped or taken to captivity in Babylon when he was a teenager. And there are some of the things that we can learn from him. The fact that he was 17 years old when he was taken, from his homeland and taken to Babylon, and still he was able to stand out in a place where it was a different culture. They used to eat different things, and there were so many things that could have influenced him to, forget his values, forget how they used to, practice their Jewish religious practices. But this boy stood out. And therefore, today, that is what we are going to look at. How can our teens stand out in a generation where moral values is no longer a focus? Teens do not mind having sexual purity. It is not, a big thing anymore, where there is no respect for parents or even for authority or even, respect for elders. How can Christian teens still be able to stand out and stand for Jesus in this generation? So that's what we are going to be looking at. And our main question is it possible for teens to stand out and stand for Jesus in this generation? Come on. Do you believe it's possible for teens, Christian teens, to actually stand out?
Yes, it is possible.
It is possible.
Yes.
Yes. So that's what we are going to say. How possible? How is it possible? So we will start by looking at some of the things that made Daniel stand out. And one thing is that Daniel had values. Becky, tell us, what do we mean when we say values? What are values?
Values are principles that you have for yourself that you never compromise no matter what, no matter the circumstance. You can never compromise those values.
Wow. Very true. Values are those principles that I'm going to hold on to them no matter what. Doesn't matter where I am, I'm still going to hold on them. And this reminds me, when I was in class 8, I was a bright student, and I thank God for that. And I remember in our class, our class teacher came to me and told me, please make sure you assist other weaker students in class during KCPE. So I asked him, teacher, what do you mean by that? Akaniambia, wakati mnafanya kama ni maths test, you can take a paper and write some answers and, give your fellow pupils so that they can get some answers to some of those questions. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. I'm not going to do this. If at all, I had really been praying God to help me pass my KCPE, and I had worked hard. But now this thing of telling me to nisaidie wengine niwaandikie answers, anyway, ilika selfish, but I knew in my heart I wasn't going to do this because, one, that would not be honest, really. And I wasn't going to do this. So I remember after our maths paper, one student was behind me, threw a paper to me. You see the way wanatupa ndio uokote umwandikie majibu. So with like number 5, number 10, number 13, number zenye zimemlemea. And of course the obvious thing was nilifaa nipick, nimwandikie majibu and then nimrushie. Me, I did not pick it. Ikakaa tu hapo chini. So the invigilator akipita akaiona, and so he came in and picked that paper, akaona hizo maswali. And then later it was reported to the principal. Principal akaulizwa, there was a case of, cheating someone, alirusha paper. And of course, now because there were no answers, but the class teacher and the principal were so mad at me. They were like, Regina, surely that was very selfish. Hivyo sivyo watu wanafanyanga. You just want to pass alone. Hautaki kusaidia wengine. But honestly, in a way I was like, should I have done it? But I wasn't going to do it because it's something that, it's a value of honesty that I knew I'm not going to cheat in exams, and I'm not going to help anyone cheat. Have you ever come at a place where, yani, kitu inataka compromise values zako na una have to stand? Joan?
Yeah. I remember ikifika sector ya tome drugs, bang, you're like, should I take, people are like, hey, kitu inafanya usikie fiti nini, usikie fresh, unasikia meditation, lakini unasema, because I know God ataki, like, nifanye hivi, and your value, like, mimi, like, bangi hapana, yeah. So, like, drugs is another level, like, kwa level 2 yake, ikifika sector ya kushikilia principle yako. Weed is another thing, as in when you tell me we are here and the one is taking weed, this thing of mali safi and the chain. So like it starts from there, ikuja hivi na hivi. So at some time,
watu wanashare like,
inaenda chain. So it's hard kushikilia principle yako, but unatry kuninda, as in quite strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
You stand with what you believe in no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's what it means to have values. It doesn't matter where I am. Hata kama nimeenda kwa beshte yangu kuona movie. Of course my parents are not there. Juu kuna vitu tunafanya juu mama akiniona hii itakuwa story nyingine. But sometimes even your parents are not there. Na unajua this is not something I should do. You still stand with that. You cannot compromise no matter what. No matter ile pressure, kama vile Joan anasema, no matter hiyo pressure ya hii ni chain, unamalizia, unasniff, napea mse mwingine, anaendelea. You're like, no, I'm not going to be part of this, na unakata hiyo story. Si ndio? Yes, so this is one thing that really made Daniel stand out. Alikuwa na values zake. Kama unakumbuka walipewa food na king? Yes. What did Daniel do?
Daniel.
Vile walipewa food na king, akasema wapewe wine, wapewe, yani hiyo food ya king, because they were chosen as, the best men, ndio wafanye kazi in Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom. Do you remember what happened, Becky? Did Daniel eat that food?
No, he didn't.
He didn't. Alisema yeye atakula hiyo food, by the way. Na akambia the person who was in charge, no, I'm not going to take this. Wakiwa na the other 3 friends, they refused to eat that food because back then their religion, the Jewish religion, haikuwa inawakubali kukula hiyo food, ilikuwa unclean, ingewa defiled, si ndio? But Daniel was not ready to get defiled. he said no, I'm not going to take this. Hiyo ni value yake yenye hakuwa anaenda kucompromise nayo. So as teens in this generation, when kila msee ana expect ufanye kitu fulani because it's just happening. If something is against your values, do not do it just because everyone is doing it, and that way you will stand out. Najua hiyo shule nilitoka huko, like what hiyo time watu wakifeel she was selfish and all that kind of thing, but there is one thing that I was really feeling in my heart. I did the right thing. It doesn't matter kila mtu around me alifeel wewe sasa, you know, hata kama wewe ni chopio, maybe, you know, ulikata, you're selfish. Me in my heart I was at peace. I'm like, as long as God knows I did the right thing, sina shida nayo. And I thank God that I was able to, you know, pass and get the school that I wanted to go to. And I never felt in my heart that nilifanya kitu wrong, sasa nishi na hiyo guilt. Unaona? All right, very well. So to our next thing that made Daniel stand out. Daniel had the courage. Daniel alikuwa na courage. Joan, yeah. What is courage? Hii courage tunongelelea. Daniel had the courage.
It's the ability to do something that frightens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yani courage ni ile you still can do something that frightens. Yani kitu unaangalia unaona wa. I mean, I something tells you no, you can't do this, but you have to encourage yourself and say this is the right thing, and so I'm going to do it. So Daniel had the courage to say no. Sindio kama?
Yes.
Daniel had the courage to
say no.
To say no. And as we see in the book of Daniel chapter 3, verse 16, it says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to the king, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you on this matter. This is the matter where Nebuchadnezzar had put an image for people to worship. But Daniel, together with the three friends, remember they were teenagers, I said they were young. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach were not going to compromise. So wakambia king, we are not going to worship that God. And what did King Nebuchadnezzar do? He said, whoever does not worship the image will be thrown into the furnace, into the fire. What did these three friends of Daniel say? They said, Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of the gold that you've put up. They had the courage to say no. Imagine ni king. Unajua tunasomanga tu kama story. Unaimagine huyu ni king mwenye anasema shoot him. Mnaelewa? Alafu nyinyi ni slaves, mmepelekwa place. You're young, imagine they're as young as you guys. But these three were like, no, atutaomba huyo God. They had the courage to say no because this was against their values. Kama, have you been in a situation where you had to say no to something that you did not believe in?
Yes. I can remember there was a time in school when the Form 4s said they are not going to do the KCSE. Mm-hmm. And so they wanted us as Form 1s to start the strike. And because we were just Form 1s, tulikuwa tunaogopa juu najua walimu wanaweza tupeleka na motaratara. Sasa
peleka na motaratara ni
yani discipline. Yeah. Sasa tukaogopa, tukawaambia no, hatuwezi anzisha strike. Kama mnadai nyinyi ku strike, fanyeni strike kivyenu.
Wow.
Yes.
Awesome. And that later, of course, hizo mkisema no, it's not an easy thing. But then later you realize it was the best thing to do. Sindio?
Yes.
Of course, mnge strike, hiyo ni suspension mngepewa. Alafu wazazi pia wanalipa, you know, the cost of distraction na kila kitu. Sindio?
Yes.
Yeah, wow, awesome. So that's actually the courage you are talking about. Teens tunakuanga na pressure fulani huku nje, watu wanawapea pressure. Hata girlfriend, kama uko na boyfriend, anakupea pressure we have to have sex. I mean, and sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes you know you're going to lose your friends when you say no. Saying no is not easy, sindio? Kama vile anasema, walirisk kukuwa disciplined na teachers, sindio? But they decided, no, we are still not going to do this. So saying no, the courage to say no does not mean that kuna effects zinaweza fuata. If you say no, your girlfriend has told you, by the way, if we are still dating, we have to have sex. Everyone is having, by the way, so and so, they are also having sex. Why, how come Sisi, we are not doing it? So saying no probably means you will lose that girlfriend. Kama sindio?
Yes.
Saying no means you're probably wewe sasa ni wa kutoka wapi kwenda. You know, and they will go for other boys who probably will sleep with them. Ama kama ni them. Maybe you lose your boyfriend if they tell you, by the way, everyone is having sex and if you're my girlfriend, we have to do this. Ukatae, they are likely to break up with you. Now, imagine unampenda, one utaki break up kwanza. But now you have to say no so that you can stand with your values, right? So the courage to say no has to be there for us to survive. Drugs, kama vile unasema, you have to say no to those drugs. Sometimes, friends utakuwa left out. Wakuambia, si wewe utakuwa kwenda huko. Ubaki bila marafiki. Becky, have you ever been in a place, or do you know a friend, or yani have you ever come in terms with your time here? You have to say no to something. Or even your friends, have they been in that situation?
Yeah, personally, I have.
Yeah.
As in, there's this group of friends I had, and like, najua hiyo saa nile sao, like, I need friends, as in, uko nao lakini like unaona nikaa hawatoshi, unaona?
Yeah.
So like, and then they are not like, since sema ni watu wazuri, they're not perfect.
Yeah.
So like, kwambia at night you sneak out of the house, that you come, we have fun, and that having fun, you know what it is, as in mwende mpati mkonywe, you do anything. But I said no, like, and after amenyambia even no, like,
your friendship.
ilisha
Hiyo siku hata wakutafutangi.
some,
but at that point, of course, walikuwa wamekasirika.
Yeah, they respected me, they respected my principles, they know I can't do such a thing. So yeah.
Wow. Courage to say no, eti to sneak out, kuja jioni. Na wanakupea plan poa, like it will work. Hautapatikana. Unajua ukifuatia hiyo plan, hata hakuna mtu atajua. Uta sneak out, you go have fun. Ukuje sneak back, ulale, hakuna mtu anajua kama umekunywa, of course. You're just in your room and you will, do that and go on. But again, the courage to say no is what makes you stand out. Kama ungesema no, nafikiria wangekurespect mpaka wa leo. Of course, wangekurespect. I know today wakitaka kufanya kitu kuna vitu hawezi enda kuambia Becky. Wanajua Becky haizi kubali hii story. Yeah, hapa na wachane tu na Becky, they know who to go for. So be that kid who is willing to lose anything as long as you stand with what you believe in. Be that kid who says no, regardless of what it's going to cost you. Even if it's going to cost you your friendship, even if it's going to cost you, that fun, that popularity, hapo shule nini, be that kid who says no, because it's something that you do not believe in. Sindio? Okay, thank you for those examples. Now we go to our next thing that made Daniel stand out, and in this case we are also including Daniel's friends who he was, taken to captivity with. We all know about the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and how we've talked about it, how they refused to worship the image. So our third thing, so we've said 1, he had values, 2, he had the courage to say no, and now we had 3, which is he had integrity. Integrity, kama? Integrity ni nini?
Integrity is the quality of being honest and having good moral values.
Wow. Integrity is just that, principle of just being honest and, holding to your moral values again. Sindio?
Yes.
So, sasa teens, in this case, uko hapo, if today your parent was to tell you, by the way, hata hakuwa amekuambia kitu yoyote, so umeamka asubuhi, akwambia, by the way, Becky, Joan or Kamau, leave everything in your room, wake up, toa password kwa simu, wacha kila kitu, just go out, we want to search your room, for example. Would you be comfortable? Because that is integrity. I mean, it means there is nothing that is found that shows you're not a person of integrity. Hakuna kitu wanafaa kupata yenye inaonyesha you're not a person of integrity. kuanzia simu yako wakiscroll messages zenye umekuwa ukichat, kila mtu umekuwa ukichat na yeye, wenge WhatsApp Becky those girl chats na hata hizo chats zingine, waangalie kwa internet, like what do you search on Google, waangalie what do you watch, wende kwa room waangalie kila kitu, what are you keeping in there, under wapi nini. If they looked for something, would they find something? Would they find something? Everyone is laughing. I don't even want to start asking. But that is what integrity means. It means that if someone was to search all around your life, there's nothing that, there's nothing accusing that they will find. And you're laughing because you think, is that even possible? So let's see Daniel from the book of the same Daniel, chapter 6, verse 4. Joan, will you read for us? All right. So Daniel chapter 6, verse 4.
Daniel chapter 6, verse 4, it says, "At this, the administrators and the satraps tried to find grounds for charges against Daniel in his conduct of government affairs, but they were unable to do so. They could find no corruption in him because he was trustworthy and neither corrupt nor negligent." Verse 5, it says, "Finally, these men said, we will never find any basis for charges against this man, Daniel, unless it has something to do with the law of his God."
Wow. So Daniel stands out to a point that now the king has decided to appoint him over other administrators. Hapo ndio imefika, because Daniel amekuwa na values, amekata compromise kabisa. Daniel alikuwa na courage kusema no to even worshiping those the god that Nebuchadnezzar alikuwa ameweka. At some point we are told that Daniel alienda mpaka akapiga magoti anaomba kama all the windows are open, something that was not pleasing to these administrators. So wameona Daniel anataka kupromotiwa. And so what do they decide to do? Wacha tutafute fault mahali. We must find something faulty. Wameenda all around kutafuta fault kwa Daniel. And guess what? They did not find it. Wakasemenye, this guy, there is nothing that we can accuse him of. That kind of integrity. Being that teen who marks imeletwa, kuna leakage. When you form 4 unajua vile enyewe wazazi wamekupea pressure, you have to pass. You have to get that A or that B+ or that strong B, you have to go to campus. I mean, wazazi wamekuambia, we've done everything. We've paid your school fees, joy fukuzwa. You have to pass. We have struggled, and you're there. Mmepewa mpaka leakage. Hata teacher ameleta, wacha hata best yako. Na mmeambiwa, by the way, hii ni chemistry paper 2. Ndio hiyo sasa. Would you be that teen who stands out and because of your integrity, you will not take that Kenya or that leakage? That is what we are talking about. Joan, I can see you have something to say.
About the Kenya, it's hard, but inakwanga hard.
Yeah.
Umelipiwa fee, so ulikuwa unalipwa 56 per year. Then madhako ana struggle, like me, I'm a single parent child. So mother ame struggle analipa fee, anakudunga shopping, poke, hujaikosa kitu.
Yeah.
And then nimefika siku ya teo, hapo November hapo date 4/3. Then leakage inakuja. Ilikuja hadi tuseme September ama October, mkifunguko shule naambiwa kem paper 2, paper 3 tishawa kem anawaambia nini na hii acha nini na hiyo hakuna hii mwaka nini. Chawa English ameleta. It's not easy. Kwanza ukikumbuka like yenyewe nisipopata C+ endi mahali. Ukikumbuka pia school fees ya high school ilisoma na struggle, unajuzi utatoa pia campus.
Yeah.
So like it's not easy, but because Mungu wako, like unaomba tu strength ya God ndio uweze kunini. It's not easy, baby. It's not easy. For kwanza high school, kwanza unasema cha akawapia tuokolee bio paper 3. Kwanza hizo sciences za paper 3.
Hizo practicals.
Yeah. Like mnasema chani mbaya, aiza tatuambia mwaka kuna kuja nini. So like
It's not easy.
for real, but
Yeah.
just pray that God atusaidie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's not easy for sure. And it takes someone who has a, that strong belief in what they believe in to actually refuse and stand with what you believe. Kama, is it easy? Is it easy? Wangalia ile circumstance yenyewe, it's so tempting to actually take it.
It's not easy. Haikuangi rahisi hivyo pia mimi nishaandago hiyo.
Yeah.
Juu yani as in umekaa kwa exam room, teacher anaingia, the invigilator when I'm in secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sasa unaita beshte yako akwambie, but then anakuassume. It's not easy, lakini yani you try giraffing, unashindwa, compound eyes unashindwa, but then unajipa tu pole. Unaamua tu kutulia.
So it's really not easy to hold to integrity. It's not an easy thing.
It's not an easy.
Yeah, and actually another thing, just another side of integrity. Ushaiaccuseiwa. Yani yenyewe kufanya kitu hujafanya. But because people knows the kind of integrity that you have, hata watu wanakutetea. Hapana, hizi kwa umse. Ama hata wakiamua kusearch vitu zako kama maybe it's a lost thing and they decide so umeaccusiwa wewe probably ndio umeiba kitu fulani and they are coming for search. Yani ushaikuwa hiyo situation yenye you're sure because of your integrity, even people around you hata hawakushuku because of the integrity that you have.
Yes. Because there is a time that one thing teacher yetu wa chemistry ananichukia because sasa yani tunachukiana.
Gosh, kama.
Jumi chemistry ingi.
Oh, it's because of the subjects eti unamchukia the person.
Simchuki.
Ni ile chemistry yenyewe unaona.
Si pass ananichukia. Sitaki kusoma kema ninamchukia, you see. So there is a time that preps za usiku alikuwa duty. Sasa mimi nimezoea kulala preps. So you see. Me for the first sipendangi kushikwa kwa makosa. Naogopanga viboko. Huwa nasongesha loka ya deskmate na yangu na tandika box katikati na lala chini. Yeah. So chaki ingia akiangalia tu hivi class anakosa msemo mwenye amedoze. Mimi niko pale hivyo chini ya loka. Sasa there is a time that prefect aliendanga akasema aje sikuangi class night preps.
Because most of the time
niko chini ya loka.
But I hope squeeze umeacha kulala chini ya loka.
Niliacha tu kiasi.
Oh, good boy.
So teacher kukuja akaanza kuniuliza night preps zote unakuanga wapi? Una sneakingi shule, sindo akanipelekanga kwa principal, wana sneak shule night preps. But then juu wase yani kuna venye tu wase wananipenda class.
They know Kama is not the type
wananipenda juu yani integrity yangu penye inakuanga because most of the time even if our school is a Catholic school, I bless them with a song. Yeah, so wanajua
kama ni wa God yenyewe kuna vitu kama hizi fanya.
Kama hizi sneak. Lakini wanajua anakuwa hapa livo chini ya loka lakini hawawezi sema, lakini wanasema siwezi sneak. So akaniteteanga. Na like hiyo kesi kapotelea tu chini.
Una imagine kama ungekuwa yule msee like wanafunzi wajua huyu ni bad boy anaweza fanya anything. Wale wa kutoroka, wale mabuli, unafikiria wangekutetea?
Hawangenitetea.
That's where your integrity saves you, right?
Yes.
Si ndio Becky? Yes. That's why no. You're all wondering kama nalala chini ya desk na box. Kama uache hiyo tabia sasa. Anyway, yeah, so your integrity is what makes even people trust that there are some things you cannot do. Hata hii generation niyo kuna time hata mom hata uko nje jirani anaweza hata kukuaccuse kuja ambe mom Becky is the one ana spoil mtoto wangu, but because of the way your mom and dad knows you, because vile yani integrity yako wanaweza kutoa waseme hapana huyo si Becky na si eti kupendelea because of your integrity. I remember sometimes back still in primary, so I was in a boarding school na hata mimi kuna classmate ako ananipenda apparently sometimes hata hakuna kitu naweza fanya juu mbona hata mtu akupendi. So alikuwa ananipenda. She wasn't doing so well in class, and I think probably that's why alikuwa na issues. And then because in a boarding tulikuwa tunafuango tunahang kwa line. So there are these girls walikuwa wametoka from a very rich family na walikuwa wanakuja na zile nguo supu. So that girl mwenye alikuwa ananipenda alikuwa day scholar, but si tulikuwa boarders. So one day huyo dem akaibanga nguo kwa kamba, akaenda kama anaenda toilet, akaiba nguo kwa kamba huko kwa dorms, akapita wapi, akaenda nazo home jioni. Of course hakuna mtu anawaangalia. And then zikakuja kutafutwa kesho yake, tukaitwa parade, hey nguo zimepotea, sijui nini, all girls tukaitwa hapo. So zikaulizwa nani aliba manguo. Do you know that girl who stole? Alitoka hapo mbele akasema mimi ndio niliiba. Yani, have you ever been so shocked? Unasikia kulia, unasikia. Have you ever been accused falsely? Si mnajua vile ina feelingi. It hurts. Hata huwezi jitetea. In fact, you even feel like just crying. Huwezi jitetea. It's hard to convince people that you didn't do it. So akasema ni mimi, akaulizwaje, akasema mimi nikienda toilet nilimuona ako kwa doma, akachukua akaingia kwa doma akaweka. So of course teacher akasema tunaenda search. So wakaenda wakasearch my box. Hata sikuwa na vitu mingi. Wakasearch my box, wakasearch juu wapi. Akasema labda alificha mali kwingine. So wakasearch everywhere, but there wasn't. But do you know it's the teachers actually who are like apana, Regina cannot. Regina hawezi iba. Kama kuna kitu tunajua yenyewe hawezi iba. Wamekosa, wangesema ni wewe na wanifukuze ama waniambie nilipe hizo nguo. But the fact that walikuwa wanajua apana. I was even the CU, like the CU leader hapo, and they knew kuna vitu Regina hawezi fanya. You know, I could be having my own weaknesses yenye hakuna mtu atakutetea. But on this thing of, you know, kuiba kitu wa mtu alikuwa anajua I cannot do that. Na hivyo ndivyo nilisevika. Vile tu kama anasema, just by the fact that people know anyway there are things you cannot do. Si ndio? So it is to pass the point that integrity saves you so many things. When you're a person mwenye watu wanajua anyway Joan cannot you know take drugs kwa mfano. Joan hawezi enda kudance kwa club. Hata kama amekuja ameaccused, they know Joan cannot do that. So integrity saves you. Is that true, Joan? Do you have something to say about it?
Let me say something. You know, during my high school life when I was in Form 3, so, you know me, when I was in Form 3, you know me, I'm this girl. Mi najua sasa nilienda kusomea Narok. Nilienda ule Tipis Girls by the way. So nilikuwa Narok. Then, so unajua tumetoka Nai, tumeenda sa Narok. So unajua mi, okay, si ati kujifanya ama nini. Mi najua tu, nilikuwa nabonga tu sheng. So people, so like people wanasema, oh, dem ni mbaya, sijui nini. You know, people just start saying things
they
that wenye uko like, aya pia na mi siwezi fanya hizo vitu. So like kitu ikitokea nini, oh, Joanna ako, sijui nini. So me, finally, like, nikiwa Form 1, bado watu wanasema, hey, you know, this girl is bad. But because some of my friends knew that, me can't do that. Yeah. As in, mi siwezi fanya hivyo. So, yeah. At least I had some good friends who walikuwa wananitetea.
Wow.
So unapata ticha nasema huwezi kosa, huu ni jambazi. And I'm like, hey, hapana. You know, but kuna venye watu wanaweza kubeba and you're not like that. Yeah. Me, that was my biggest challenge in high school.
That watu wanakujudge by looking at you, ama the way you talk.
The way I talk. Unajua me, that's how, venye mi ongea, that's how I talk.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest challenge in high school. Mtu anasema, udem ni mbaya, sijui nini, you know. You find people hating you na ati unasikia mtu anasema, udem mimi namchukia, ndio like, nimefanya nini, nimekula nini yako, what have I stolen, na akula. So it took me, as in, hadi ilifanya niokoke. Like,
yani ndio watu waamini.
Yani ilifanya yani, the time sasa tulikuwa na rally za siu. So kafika nikaona nimeenda sana, nikaokoka.
Yeah.
then after nimeokoka, so venye nilipromotiwa, not promoted, venye nikakuwa CU Asha, so like things nikatulia,
Watu wakaanza kuchukulia
yani watu wakaanza
tofauti.
kuchukua positive vibes.
Yeah. Wow.
And everything was fine.
Wow. What Joan is trying to say is, I mean, sometimes hata bila kujua kuna vitu zinaweza kufanya watu washuku integrity yako, kama vile anasema vile alikuwa anabonga, vile alikuwa watu wanafikiri ni bad girl and all that. But salvation pia inakujanga in a way that it gives you a certain it gives people this certain perspective, the way they look at you before uokoke. Kwa mfano vile Joan anasema kila mtu alikuwa anajua Joan ni bad girl, lazima she's a bully, na probably hata hakuwa bully per se, but once she gave her life to Christ na wakaona ameokoka kwa CU nini, ndio sasa wakaanza kumtrust, wakaanza kujua yani she's a good girl, kuna yani positive vibes vile anasema. So in fact it is to say that for you to have integrity, and even for people to be able to see that thing in you, being born again is the main thing. There are things you cannot do or hold on to if you're not born again, sindio? So to our teens out there, if you've not given your life to Christ, ni hard sana ku hold integrity. Vile tulisema, it's not easy. So you have to let Jesus come into your life for him to help you retain that life of integrity, sindio? All right, so to our fourth one. So first we've said Daniel had values. Secondly, we've said he had the courage to say no to things that, would compromise what he believed in. And 3, we've said that he had integrity. And the fourth one is that he had the spirit of excellence. Becky, what is excellence? When someone says you're excellent.
When someone says I'm excellent.
Yeah.
In short, it's like that person is saying perfect.
Yeah, like you're extremely good, right?
Yes.
Everything you do, yani,
is
iko tu sawa.
perfect.
Si eti vitu, unajua. Unaona vitu kama zile simple things kama kuosha vyombo nyumbani. Mtu anaosha vyombo zimebaki na sabuni hapa kando. Ama umeosha hujapanguza hapo. That is not excellence. Is it excellence kama? The simple things we do. Uandike 2 notes lakini zote umecross line 1, line 2. Yani that's the excellence starts with every small thing. Being good, being really good in what you do. How was Daniel excellent? Kama? Read for us from the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 3.
Daniel chapter 6, verse 3, it says, "Now Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators and his satraps by his exceptional qualities that the king had planned to set him over the whole kingdom."
Daniel distinguished himself by exceptional qualities. Yani alistand out. Alistand out among all the administrators, all the satraps. Mpaka akawekwa over everyone in the kingdom. Because he had that spirit of excellence. Everything he did, yani, kila kitu alikuwa anafanya alikuwa anajua, wow, Daniel is, this perfect person. And that is the spirit that I want us teens to have. The spirit of excellence. Be that teen who does not settle for mediocrity. Yani si ile story ya si kila mtu amepata C kwa class. Mimi niko tu sawa, tuko hapo ndani watu kadhaa na C. And you're happy, na hata ushtuki. That is not the spirit of excellence. God expects us, in fact, God expects us to have the spirit of excellence. God is not a God of mediocrity. Sindio?
Yeah.
God has not given us a spirit of mediocrity. He expects excellence from us. And we have that inside us. It is just a matter of being intentional in everything that you do. Yani wamwe, if this is what I'm doing it to perfection. Because God is a God of perfection. Sindio? So hiyo mambo ya kusema, wow, ake mwenyewe inangushanga kila mtu. So, mi niko sawa na hiyo C minus. Don't settle for that. Sindio? Yeah. We should not settle for that. Kama unasema chemistry ndio, yani. So I want to challenge you. Now, sasa hata miko shule mpaka next year. Yani hata kama ni kufocus useme hii chemistry, hii ndio naenda kudeal na wewe. There's no way I'm settling for average with you. I'm gonna do good. Sawa kama? Becky, which one? I know you two are candidates. Ni gani unaona yani inakuleteanga tafash? Inakufanya uone ni sawa tu. Physics. Hey, you're that girl who is doing physics. Wow, nice. So physics, time konayo, just go sit and say, spirit of excellence is my portion. So you physics, I'm not going to settle for average. Sawa? At least say you have all the time. Sindio? Joan, what is that thing in your life that unonanga yani ufanyangi to perfection?
Okay, mimi enye naweza sema like sometimes I become rude. Ndo naonanga.
Sometimes you become rude.
I become rude.
And God does not expect that at all.
Yeah, he expects me to be
kind,
obedient. Yeah. And so there's a time I was so rude, as in I was so bad. Adi, I finished my Form 4.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where that thing comes from. Now I'm big, and yet you are not. Ndo naanza, like you're still like, my mom tells me you're now a toddler. By the way, sasa wewe ndo mtoto kabisa.
Yeah.
So umemaliza shule and they're like, aya, sasa mimi am big. Mimi hakuna kitu naweza niambia, naweza toka na niende. Yeah. So it's being rude.
Yeah.
It was one problem, but God is faithful, yeah.
Amen.
And now nimekuwa sawa.
Good girl.
I'm not talking to people vibaya.
Good girl. Yeah. So we want you to go and work on it to becoming perfect in that. Yeah. To, practicing kindness when you're talking to your parents, to other people around you. Sindio, in everything we do, we are saying we have the spirit of excellence like Daniel. Sindio. So that even when it's about, we are selecting who is going to represent us in this, unajua, Kama is so good in MCing. Kama nimemiss MCs zako during teen services, by the way. So Kama is so good in MCing, akisimama hapo mbele, you know he will do a good job. Tunajua tu Becky, kama tunataka mtu wa kutu lead in this, Becky will do it. Let be outstanding. Let's stand out by doing things in perfection, in excellence. Sindio? All right, very well. And to the fifth thing, which is also going to be our last one. What made Daniel stand out is that he had spiritual discipline. He had spiritual discipline. By spiritual disciplines, there are so many disciplines that Christian teens can practice. Like what, Becky? One spiritual discipline? Fasting. Teens think that fasting ni ya watu wakubwa. Hey, mimi nikose kukula lunch. Praying and fasting helps you reach to God and just have that time with God. You beat your body and you just focus your everything to God. Kama, what other spiritual discipline can we practice?
Studying the Bible.
Studying the Bible. Very important. When we were starting the program, we said we make sure as we plan our day, we have put devotion time where you can read your word and pray. So let's study the word. After all, hiyo ndio itatusaidia kujua what God has to say about some of the things that we are going through as teenagers. Sindio? Joan, what other spiritual discipline can we have?
Joining Christian unions.
Yeah. So in high school, wakwe kwa CU, when you wako kolewa, make sure pia wako kwa CU uko. Yeah.
It helps, by the way. Inafanya ugrow.
Yeah.
In high school, may believe, ukiwa high school, that's where unaanza, that's where foundation ya being a good Christian, as in, you have by the ukiwa shule, you have enough time.
Yeah.
As in, hakuna kitu inaku confuse.
Yeah, so like, you have time to focus.
Yeah, if it is uko kwa siu, uko preps, as in, ukiwa shule, you have enough time to pray.
You have enough time.
Yeah.
So when you mko high school, or when you mko primary, na kuna CUs, colleges, please let's make sure tuko kwa CU. The Bible says, do not forsake the fellowship of believers. Sindio? Hapo tukikuja, kama sasa, we thank God that churches are going to be open, na tuta make tena kukuja church. Make sure you come to church. Come to church, grow together with the rest, fellowship with others. Sindio? Yes, so if you're a teenager there and you do not attend a church, there are some of these things that can help you stand out. Going to church, praying, fasting, reading the word. These are spiritual disciplines that you must have. Daniel, as we said, used to stand, anaenda anapiga magoti. Alikuwa naomba 3 times? 3 times a day. And that's why God gave him the spirit of excellence. That's why kila kitu alikuwa anafanya ilikuwa inaenda poa. Mungu alikuwa anamsaidia. So be that teen who is ready to hold on the spiritual discipline, hata kama kuna mtu anakufuatilia, but you know that this is time for me to read the word and you focus on it. All right, so just to conclude on our topic of standing out and standing for Jesus in a generation when, you know, there are no moral values, people don't fear God anymore. We have discussed the 5 things and I hope you've learned something. Be that teen who is willing, it doesn't matter where you are, who is not willing to compromise on what you believe in, compromise on what God says you should do, okay? So I would like each of you to give us a parting shot to our viewers. Yeah, parting shot, something about standing out. What can you tell other teens out there? What can you tell viewers about standing out in this generation? Kama, tunaanza na wewe. Something for our viewers.
Yes. Mi naweza penda ku reach out kwa ma viewers madem niwaambie this time ndio tumekaa home and we are reporting more cases of pregnancies.
Yeah.
So stand out and say no to pregnancies. Yes.
Kabisa, we are saying no to?
Pregnancies.
For us to say no to pregnancies, we have to start to say no to what?
Sex.
No to premarital sex, ndio?
Yes.
Yes. So hiyo ni value moja, no to premarital sex. Courage to say no. Thank you, Kama. Becky, what can you tell our viewers?
Actually, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But you know, in our generation, it's so hard right now. Like, stand out ni ngumu. You can't just like stand and say, no, Miss Fanny B, and then like everyone is doing that. So like, I just want to tell people, have the courage. It's not rahisi, by the way. It's hard, very hard. Peer pressure ni mingi. And you can't resist peer pressure unless you have your strong principles that you can't break. So, like, just have the courage to do whatever you want according to how you want it to be done. Yes.
Wow, thank you. John?
So what I want to say is, I want to tell teens, as in, I want to tell the teens to read the book of Daniel. Now I see, as in, nawaomba msome the book of Daniel from chapter 1 hadi like yote. Una analyze, it helps inakufanya grow spiritually, like around you una grow. As in, you won't fear, hautakuwa na uoga. And then again, my mom tells me that friends wanakujanga wakienda, and for real they come and go. My primary friends si wenye niko nao sahi, my high school friends si wenye niko nao sahi, wenye nilikuwa nao January si wenye niko nao sahi. Some will come to help, some won't help you. Some will watakam wata destroy your life, wata demolish like everything. Labda ulikuwa na stand zako, labda ulikuwa useme me I want to be a doctor someday. Lakini unapata na besha nakwambia achana hizo mambo, tuweza fungua nini kibanda pale. Okay, it's not bad, but you have to be focused, as in be focused and do something good. So friends, as in this time kwanza those one shule zimefungwa, me I even prefer saa zingine hata kukaa peke yangu, you know, because some friends will not help you. Mi nimepitia friends wengi and some wajanisaidia, by the way. Some have not helped me. So all I want to tell my fellow teens, harvest teens, as in anyone, any teen, just friends are here to come and go. Some will not help you, by the way, and some will.
So don't fear to lose
Don't
friends.
fear to lose friends. And peer pressure is real, very real, as in equal, and it is equal, by the way. So
and you have to say no to that.
Yeah.
Right?
So just read the book of Daniel. It's very good, as in it teaches a lot.
Thank you so much, Joan. I hope you've gotten something from our panelists. My word for you today, finally, we are told that King Nebuchadnezzar passed a decree that everyone in the kingdom must worship and revere the God of Daniel. So Daniel, at the end of the day, having stood out, made the people of Babylon start worshiping the true God. So you teen out there, when you stand out, when you stand for Jesus, you become a good influence to the people around you. You become a role model. And other people are like, I want to become like Becky. You know, I want to even get saved. If that is what makes Becky stand out, if that's what makes Kama, you know, stand out as a good person, have that integrity, if that's what makes Joanna have that courage to say no to peer pressure, Basi, I am going even to get born again. So when we stand out, we become good influence to the people around us. We become role models, and in that way, we glorify God, right? Thank you very much, our viewers. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again next time. Be blessed.